Okay, guys, this is probably one of the more perplexing topics that you're going to encounter this year. Okay, it's a topic that you can make more complicated for yourself. The more that you try to think about it, I'm going to try to lay it out for you really simply. Okay, and give you some really clear steps to use. And if you use those steps, you may not necessarily understand for the first little while why it works, but if you just trust in the process, you'll get used to it and you'll sort of understand why it works as time goes on. Okay, so basically today is one of those lessons where I'm going to give you something, a table that you need to learn off by heart. Okay, so it's something that needs to go into your revision material and you need to make sure you know it off by heart. We're going to be using the number line a lot, okay, when we're looking at integers. Okay, integers is any whole number, negative or positive. Okay, that's a whole number. Okay, that's just basically another word for a number. Okay, we're looking at negative numbers. We're looking at negative integers. Okay, and today we're adding and subtracting negative numbers. So let's jump straight into it. So during this lesson, we're going to learn how to add and subtract negative numbers. In order to do this, you will need to learn a table off by heart. So here is the table that you need to learn off by heart. So you will notice here I've got a number line. Okay, I've got a number line. The number line is incredibly important, particularly when we're starting out with this topic. And I've got this table. Now, basically all this table is referring to is the direction that we move. Okay, I'm quickly going to go through a question. Okay, so let's just say I've got 6 and I've got plus 3. Now, I would start here on the number line at 6, okay? And we all know what happens when we add a positive number. We move right. That's what this box talks about, okay? So this box shows that when you add a positive number, you move right on the number line, okay? And that's something that you guys know already. You know this one too, okay? You know that when you take away a positive number, you move left on the number line, okay? So let's just have a look at this question here, because this first number gives us our starting position in the sum or in the problem, okay? And the starting position here is 6. Now this next part of the question, the operation and the number itself, okay, the next digit, it tells you which direction that you need to move on the number line, okay? So this one's saying you're adding a positive number. So it refers to this box here. So we would move ahead 1, 2, 3 positions, and we would end at 9. Everyone's sitting there going, yeah, I knew that. That's easy. Okay. Now, sometimes it could be a minus. So let's start at 6 again. That's our starting position. And let's take away 7. Okay. Now, when we take away a positive number, okay, we move left on the number line, okay? It says right here, left, and you guys have been doing it for years. So let's move 7 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We end at -1. And I know that everyone would be sitting there going, yes, I knew that, that's easy, okay? It gets a little bit trickier when we start to deal with negative numbers, okay? So here I've got, let's say I've got 5 plus -8, okay? Now you will notice a few things about what I just wrote down. Firstly, I've put the negative number in brackets. The reason why I put the negative number in brackets, and your textbook does the same, the reason why I've done that is just simply to remove it from everything else. So you can see that it's a negative number. Rather than having a question that looks like this, that's 5 plus -8, okay, and there's a couple of operations sitting there. We just put those negative numbers into brackets just to make it a little bit clearer, okay? It means exactly the same thing, okay? This question here means exactly the same as this question here. There's no difference, okay? So let's have a look at this question in depth. And here I'm starting at 5. So we look at our number line and we start at 5, all right? And then I look at the second part of my question, okay? So I put a box around the operation and the number itself. And I am adding a negative. So I come up here to my table. No, that's adding a positive. It's not that one. That's taking away a positive, it's not that one. That's taking away a negative, it's not that one. Oh, here we go. I'm adding a negative. That's exactly what this one is, plus and minus. So I need to left on the number line, okay? And then I look at this number here and it tells me how many places I need to move on that number line, okay? And the amount of places I need to move is 8. So let's move 8 places. So I'm moving left, and I'm moving by 8 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I end up at negative 3, okay? I end up at negative 3. Let's have a look at a different one, okay? So this next one here, when I do it, is going to be, I'm actually going to start on a negative. I'm going to start at negative 6, okay? And I'm going to take away negative, let's say 9. Oops, sorry. I'm going to take away negative 9. So I put a bracket around that one so I can tell it's a negative number. Interestingly enough, the textbook doesn't put the first digit, okay, in an expression. An expression is like a sum. It doesn't put the first digit in brackets. I don't know why they don't do that, but for everything after that first digit, it always goes in brackets, okay? So here, I'm starting at negative 6. So let's find negative 6 on the number line. Here's negative 6, okay? And now I need to find what direction I need to move on the number line. So I'm taking away a negative. So that's plus a positive, that's minus a negative, that's plus a negative. Here we go. Here is minus a negative, okay? So I need to move right on the number line, okay? Now, once again, you may be going, well, why do I move right on the number line? Why do we do this, Mr. Wheel? Basically, just trust the process for now, okay? That will become clearer the more times that you do this. You'll understand it a little bit better, okay? Just trust the process, trust the table, and just follow the directions. So we move right, okay? And we need to take away, so we're moving right, and I need to move right by 9 positions, okay? So let's move right by 9 positions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I end up at 3, okay? I end up at 3. All right, so my answer here is 3, okay? So negative 6, take away negative 9 gives me the answer of 3. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, we've got some more examples here. So, firstly, we determine the starting position. Okay, step 1. So these are all my starting positions. These are going to tell me where do I start on the number line. Okay, and then number 2, you determine which way you need to move on the number line. So that's what this part here of the question tells us. That tells us which direction we need to move on the number line. Okay, and then we move by the specified number of places. So that's what this number tells us. How many places do we need to move? It tells us that, and then we give our answer. So let's go through these, okay? So this first one here, we're starting at negative 1. Starting at negative 1, and I'm adding 4. When I add a positive, I move right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to end up at 3. Okay, for the next one, I'm starting at 6. Okay, I'm starting at 6. And I'm taking away 9. So when I take away a positive, all right, I move left on the number line, and I need to move by 9 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I end up at negative 3, okay? Next, I'm doing 5 plus negative 12, okay? So here I've got 5, so I'm starting at 5 on the number line, and then I'm adding a negative. So that's what this one is here. I need to move left. I need to move by 12 positions. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to end at negative 7. Okay, next one. What am I doing here? I'm starting at negative 6. So let's go to negative 6. And I'm taking away a negative, which means it's this box here, and I need to move right, okay? And I need to move by 11 positions. Okay, so let's move right by 11 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I end at 5, okay? Now, I completely understand if you are a little bit unsure with this topic, okay? It takes a while to get your head around it. We're going to get into some questions now. I'm going to get you guys to do some questions because you need to do some to see whether you're getting them incorrect or correct, okay? There's going to be lots of practice throughout this period, okay? So here are the first lot of questions, okay? I've got the table up here and I've got the number line here for you. Have a go, okay, at these. In 2 minutes, we'll stop and we'll go through the answers. Good luck. Okay, answer time. So here we go. We're starting at -11 with this question. So I'm starting right here and I've got to move right because I'm adding a positive, okay? I've got to move right by 9 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my answer there is -2, okay? Question 2, -5, take 5, okay? So I'm starting at -5. And when I take away a positive, I've got to move left. Okay, I've got to move left. So I've got to go by 5 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I end at -10. Okay, and end at -10. The next one here, I'm starting at 6. Okay, I'm starting at 6 and I'm adding a negative. So when I add a negative, I've got to move left on the number line. So I'm going to move left by 11 positions. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm going to end at -5. Okay, -5. Next one here, -7, -7, take away a negative. Okay, so I'm taking away a negative, which means I need to move right, and I need to move by 4 positions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I end at -3, okay, -3. There are your answers for that lot of questions, okay? Have a go at these ones. These ones are slightly bigger numbers and I've removed the number line. Now you can always draw your own number line, okay? That's completely fine if you do that, but have a go at these ones and then we'll go through the answers. right, answer time. So let's go through these. So negative 31 is where I'm starting. Okay, and I always just do this, negative 31. And I am adding a negative. Okay, so that means that I need to move left on the number line. So that means I'm going to have to go that way. Okay, so when I move 19 positions left on the number line, I'm going negative 32, negative 33, negative 34, negative 35. Okay, so your number's actually getting bigger. So what I could actually do here is I could just do 31 plus 19 to give me 50. And obviously, because I'm heading left, it's going to be a negative. Okay, so my answer there is negative 50. Okay, this next one here, I've got 28 minus 6. So once again, we're taking away a negative. So we've got to move right on the number line. Okay, so once I do that, I'm going to end up at 34. Okay, now if you are completely not understanding this, that is fine. We're going to have plenty of practice with these ones. Okay, it's all about continuing to practice. Okay, and referring back to this table. So keep asking yourself, what's my starting position? My starting position here is negative 20. Picture negative 20 on a number line, okay? And then determine which direction you need to move. So this tells me what direction I need to move. I'm adding a negative. So up here, I've got to move left on the number line. And then this number here tells us how many positions I need to move left by. And I need to move left by 9 positions. So I'm going to go 9 positions that way, and that's going to take me to negative 29. Okay, negative 29. Now, the next one here, I'm starting at negative 41. Okay, negative 41 on the number line. Okay, and I'm taking away a negative, which means I need to move right. Okay, I need to move right by 7 positions. All right, so when I move 7 positions that way, I'm getting closer to 0. Okay, I'm getting closer to 0. I'm going to end up at negative 34. Okay, so they are our answers for that one. Now, guys, I'm going to set quite a few quizzes for you during this process, so I can just see how you're going. Okay, it'll give me a good understanding of how you're going with these topics. We're going to practice this plenty. Okay, obviously a lot of information to get through in today's lesson. Do your best, have questions, keep asking questions, and keep practicing writing out that table so you can remember it. It is absolutely vital when we're doing this topic. Good luck.